Well, good morning there, folks. Today we are going to be doing another tier list. Now, we did the Star Wars shows tier list, for those who don't know. Today, we are going to be doing the Marvel shows. Now, I like both of these franchises, and decided that I would do both of them. Do Star Wars and Marvel. So, today we're doing Marvel. Let's go to the tier list. So again, sorry for the ads, but I can't do anything about it. So for those who didn't watch the Star Wars tier list, what we do, instead of just dragging from the top here, what we do is we go by category, because it's a little better. First, and not watched, we're going to put things that we haven't watched. I haven't watched that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and these. What the fuck are these? Okay, so basically, all the MCU plus the Netflix is the ones that I've watched personally. This tier list is updated to Wonder Man. I made sure of that, so hopefully everything's here. I'm not sure if anything is here or not, but yeah, these things I haven't watched. I'm not really interested in all of them. Maybe I'll watch some of them. I don't know. But for right now, I don't really care about any of these shows. First of all, yeah, we're going to put She-Hulk in the bottom. And honestly, call me crazy, this is the only one. This is the only show when I was watching all of Marvel in order. She-Hulk was the only show that I skipped out on. And I watched every single other one. Except for She-Hulk. Because I already knew it was going to be bad. And then I watched it finally. The last episode is cool, but that's just because of the fourth wall stuff. But like the plot, story, I don't really care about it. First one I can think of is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I like these two characters. I like Bucky is one of my favorite MCU characters like ever. And I really only like his stuff. Plus, I think they should have named him Captain Falcon. That would have been tough. But obviously that's already a character in like a game, so they can't really do that. But still, Captain Falcon would have been fire. Yeah, I just like the Bucky things. But that's really it. The villain sucks. John Walker's cool. I actually like John Walker. I think he's pretty cool. Putting Miss Marvel there. I know a lot of people like Miss Marvel. It's just not a show for me, personally. I never really cared about the character of Miss Marvel. I don't know, had some good parts in it, but as a show like entirely, it's just this girl got powers and now she has to deal with them because she's in school and apparently she's a mutant. So C is like middle of the pack. I'm calling middle of the pack here. So there's like stuff in it that's good that I actually really enjoyed, but as an entire show, it isn't the greatest compared to other shows. First, I am putting Secret Invasion. Now, a lot of people say this is the worst MCU show. This is like on the same level as She-Hulk. Look, because it does this, because it does that, because Rhodey was a scroll, because they killed the girl in the beginning of the show, because whatever. I don't really care about that. I care about like what I'm looking at, and what I'm looking at was kind of cool. I liked more parts of the show than most people did, and so that's like my first controversial take, is that it's fine. Next, I am also putting Ironheart in the same category. I actually really like the Hood. I like his story. Did we need this show? No. I don't think we needed a show that was on a side character of the Black Panther movie. The one thing that I wish they kept was the whole Tony Stark mentor thing that in the comics that what Ironheart had. In the show it was just like, oh well, Tony Stark could build one with $1 billion, so I'm gonna build one with $3. I just like the Hood, and obviously at the end Mephisto was confirmed. So I hope we get more Mephisto, because not a lot of people like the show, which is understandable, but I just hope we get more Mephisto, to be honest. Next, Echo as well. So Echo was the first kind of show to introduce both Daredevil and Kingpin. Obviously, I know Kingpin was in Hawkeye as well, but in the actual MCU, Echo was the first show to introduce both of them. It's fine. It's short. It's only 5 episodes, which is even shorter than I'm pretty sure Hawkeye had 6, and a few other shows had 6. Moon Knight had 6, I think. So it's shorter than I think this is the shortest show. Yeah, it said it was like the first R-rated Disney Plus show, and it's like didn't really do anything, which is whatever. But obviously, I like that Kingpin's in it, and I like that Daredevil's in it too. Now, this is probably going to be the last. Yeah, this is going to be the last show in this tier, and it's going to be very controversial. This is the worst Netflix show, in my opinion, and that is Luke Cage. Now, some people might ask, what the fart, dude? The first season's cool. Yeah, the first season is cool. Second season, I don't think I cared about a single episode. Not gonna lie. Plus the ending of the second season, I know it was supposed to get a third season. I'm pretty sure every single Netflix show was supposed to get another season before they got canceled. I understand that. But the second season finale where he becomes the crime dude, what the fart does that mean? But yeah, it's the worst in my opinion. Like there's cool fights. The villain's kind of cool of the first season. The second villain sucks. But the first season's villain is kind of nice. It had some cool moments with like we got to see Claire again. Wish they should bring her back in Born Again, but they're probably not going to do that. But yeah, that's it for C. Going on to B. So this is just plain and simple. I like the show. Maybe there's a few things wrong with it, but in total, I like the show. Agatha is probably the most prominent show in this tier because it is a good show. If you really look at it in a whole, it is a good show. Every episode is a different theme. Every episode is a different journey that they have to go. Every episode is a different lesson that needs to be learned. And basically almost every episode somebody dies. And the reveal that obviously this is Scarlet Witch's son, the reveal that the road was actually Wiccan's like imagination, and Agatha knew it like the entire time because Agatha actually never went to the road before. Next, I'm going to put Jessica. This is the second worst show in my second worst show. Don't get me wrong, the first season is like the second best season of any Netflix thing. Like the first season is phenomenal, but there's 2 other seasons. In Luke Cage, there's only 2 seasons, right? So you have the first season, which is okay, and then you have the second season, which is kind of bad. In this case, there's 3 seasons where the first season is amazing, but the other 2 seasons don't really hold up to that. And I really think Kilgrave just did so much to the first season. I really wish they didn't kill him off so they could bring him back, and I hope in some, like, how... We obviously know Jessica is coming back in season 2 of Born Again. So I hope there's a way that maybe as a figure of her imagination or something that we can bring Kilgrave back. I just think he's such an interesting villain and a cool villain. And the first season just played out. The entire season was so like structured to the point where every episode had something to do with the plot. The second season was with her mother, which is cool. Like, right, her mother's alive. She also has powers, but she's crazy. Okay. And then the other girl that I don't remember her name, I just know she's Hellcat. She killed the mother at the end. And then also it was teased that she was going to become Hellcat in the third season, which in the third season, Hellcat was the villain, even though there was technically like a serial killer that they were also tracking down and whatever. But yeah, just nothing. The last 2 seasons just didn't hold up to the first season. And so that's why it's at B, which is still a good tier, don't get me wrong. But the first season just carries it heavily. If all 3 seasons were they would be down here or maybe even here. But the first season is just amazing, so that's why it's up here. And for the last show in here, I'm also going to put Punisher. The first season is is cool. The second season isn't memorable. Like, I always forget that this show had 2 seasons, right? And I'm pretty sure the second villain is called Jigsaw, which is his friend. It's good. It's a good show, but it doesn't really have any tie-ins to the other Netflix shows. It's just that he's just Punisher, right? Like Daredevil doesn't show up. Karen shows up though. That's cool. Okay, and now we're moving on to A. So this is just a good show. Maybe like one thing wrong with it, two things wrong with it, but other than that, it's just a good show. I like it. I like the show a lot. First, we are bringing Hawkeye. Hawkeye's pretty high in the list. Reason why? And Kingpin is in the show, and it was the first introduction of him. Obviously, he was portrayed a little differently, which is okay in my opinion. I don't really care. I like that they fleshed out his Hawkeye's character. I know he was in like 18 movies, right? But still, having Hawkeye actually be a prominent character, I actually like him dealing with the hearing loss, him dealing with the loss of Black Widow, him dealing with like not being home to his family. Like, I think that was all great. Kate Bishop, obviously, she's like the main lead of the show. She becomes the new Hawkeye. That's not like the biggest thing in my opinion. I don't really care about that, but she did good in the show as well. Echo was a lot of a better villain in Hawkeye than she was in her own show because he wasn't even a villain in her show. Next, I am putting Wonder Man in here. Now, a lot of people say Wonder Man's the best Marvel show ever made. It's good. It's really good. I like action. I like, superheroes. I like people with powers, and he has powers, but he uses them like 3 times. Like, it's a cool, grounded, street level. Not even street level. It's just grounded because there isn't a villain technically. I mean, the damage control is the villain, but they didn't do anything, right? Bringing back the Mandarin was nice. It's a good show. But there's like, I think like 2 episodes where I was just like, yeah, I don't really care about this, to be honest. I'm putting Defenders also in A. I don't care what people say. Defenders is amazing. Seeing the 4 characters team up, plus with Misty and Colleen and Claire and like all the side characters team up as well, and having the Hand getting like defeated for all. It's basically just the Avengers if the Avengers were made on like a $1 million budget, which I don't even know. Let's look it up. What was the budget for the Defenders? It was $8 million per episode. So that's actually not even that bad. So basically, yeah, if it was the Avengers movie, but if it was $8 million or something, right? I don't know. Because it's a team up show, but the team up is cool. Like, all these characters interact with each other. All these characters play off each other. All these characters have some sort of relationship with each other, right? Like, you have Matt and Iron Fist working good together. Matt and Luke Cage, they don't really like connect that much, but they still interact, right? Matt and Jessica, obviously one of the best interactions of the show. That's why she's coming back in Born Again, which is tough. You have Iron Fist and Luke Cage, which they have a good relationship. Also, Luke Cage showed up in Iron Fist season 2. You have Iron Fist and Jessica Jones, which they only what the fart? Why did I just forget the word? Interacted a little bit. And then you obviously have the Luke Cage and Jessica. They used to do stuff together. And, yeah. I don't know. They all have some sort of relationship, and I think that's cool. But basically, now we're in S. And you might ask, what the fart, dude? There are some shows that should not be here. Well, guess what? They are. Let's go down the list. You have the original. This is the best thing Marvel's ever done. I think this is better than any movie that Marvel's done. I think this is better than any show Marvel's done. This is the best thing Marvel has ever done. I don't even care if it's the MCU or not the MCU. This is the best thing Marvel's ever done. All right, this isn't just a superhero show. This isn't just a Marvel show. This isn't just even a Daredevil show. I mean, it is, but you know what I mean. This is just a good show. It's just a good show. It's good. Like, it's good. It introduces Punisher. It introduces the Hand. It introduces Fisk. It introduces Bullseye and like Bullseye's story in season 3 is phenomenal. It's one of the best villain stories ever made. This is the best show that Marvel's ever done. This is the best thing that Marvel's ever done. It's better than any movie in the MCU. It's better than any show in the MCU. It's better than anything that's ever been made. Following up, we have Born Again. Now, it is lesser than Daredevil. Reason why it's still an S though is because it's Daredevil. It is lesser because of the two like teams. I give it like 80% a pass because the strike happened like right when they were filming, and so they couldn't like continue things. But also like they looked at the stuff and they were like, "Wait, this sucks. Why are we doing this?" And so they had to like redo everything, and so I give it like a pass because they had to literally make an 8 or 9 episode season out of 2 different shows, basically, right? Next, we have Iron Fist. People are like, what the fart, dude? Iron Fist sucks so much. It really doesn't. Guys, let's lock in. The first season of Iron Fist is one of the best seasons of the Netflix shows. I know a lot of people, they hate the Hand story. I don't care, because guess what? I like the Hand story. That's why I like the Hand story more than I like the Punisher story in season 2. Fight me. There ya. I love the Hand. And I'm so happy that they're bringing the Hand into Spider-Man, which hopefully in season 3, they're going to bring the Hand back, including Iron Fist. Apparently Iron Fist might show up in season 3, maybe at the end of season 2. Same with Luke Cage. He might show up at the end of season 2 or season 3. We don't know. There's only 2 seasons of the show, and they're both, like, great, in my opinion. The first season deals with the Hand story more. I know a lot of people, they don't like his acting. They don't like the way that the fights play out. Sure, they're not as good as Daredevil's fights and the way that Daredevil's acting goes. But I also give this a pass because Finn Jones is the actor who played Iron Fist. I'm pretty sure he just finished with Game of Thrones. I'm pretty sure. And Iron Fist was filming in like 2 weeks after he was done with Game of Thrones. So he had like 2 or 3 weeks to train with the fight choreographer and the whatever, right? And with 3 weeks of training and 3 weeks of doing all this stuff, I think it's great. I know a lot of people are let down because Iron Fist is supposed to be this guy he's literally only fight, like he's supposed to be a good fighter, but he is a good fighter. Like we see him fight good, like we see him take down like 5 people, like he's literally soloing 5 people. So yeah, I'm gonna defend this show till I die. I think Iron Fist is the second best show in the Netflix series. I love it. I love it so much, and I hope he comes back. Next is Loki. This has no description to it because Loki's already an amazing character, and they just built on him even more. Everything in it had a purpose. You get to see how Loki like deals with all of the stuff that he had to do. This is, by the way, this is the Loki that came from Avengers 1. So this isn't reformed Loki from Ragnarok and Infinity War, and like this is Avengers 1 Loki. He was the like most villainish part of Loki in Avengers 1, right? And that's who this version of Loki is. This isn't Ragnarok Loki or Infinity War Loki, right? That's why I think it's so good, because this version of Loki had to learn from his own mistakes. Obviously, I know people were saying that like it sets up Kang, and yes, it sets up Kang, and this was supposed to be like the lead to the Avengers Kang movie, and it didn't really work out that way, but it's just a good show like on its own. Moon Knight. This is, in my opinion, the second best live action MCU show. This is like here because Daredevil's my first. Moon Knight is here. People don't like this show, or I think people are starting to come around on it that Moon Knight was actually a good show. And yeah, the last episode isn't the greatest. Why are they fighting the big dudes and like whatever, right? But the other episodes are just, I mean, you were in there for like 3 or 4 episodes. You're just in the world, and then all of a sudden he dies. The main character of a show dies, which doesn't happen very often. And then when you think that the everything that happened in the last 3 to 4 episodes was everything in his mind because he was in a psych ward, but then that wasn't true because the psych ward was the afterlife, and so he had to save himself because his personalities were there, and so he had to save himself so that he could live again. And it was like it's such a interesting way to do Moon Knight, but obviously, probably Moon Knight's never going to see the light of day ever again. I don't even think he's going to be in Secret Wars, which is going to be like every character ever introduced is going to come in Secret Wars. But I guarantee you, Moon Knight's not going to be in there because they messed him up so bad. But whatever. I think this is the greatest, or second best MCU show. It used to be the greatest before Daredevil, but now Daredevil's thing. So yeah. And lastly, I have WandaVision. Obviously, this is, I think, the first MCU show that Marvel did. I think it holds up against the other shows that came out. It's an interesting show with a good twist. Like, you think this is just going to be a stupid little sitcom with Wanda and Vision, but no, this is not it. Like, Wanda made this place herself, and Vision's not actually real, because Vision's actually getting built by another dude to become White Vision, who hopefully we're getting Vision Quest this year, but I don't even know, nothing's come out with that. It still holds up as one of the best shows. So, yeah, this is my list. We don't really need to look at that because those are the ones I don't watch. But this is the list, everybody. From this sucks to this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I know there's like 1,000 controversial things. This is my list on Marvel is a lot more controversial than my list on Star Wars was. I feel like my Star Wars list was more just what the general public likes. I love Moon Knight. I love Iron Fist. And I know that's going to make a lot of people mad, but I don't care. And a lot of people are not going to like that I have Luke Cage solo. Probably that I have Secret Invasion in like the middle. I don't know. I feel like people are not going to like my list. But guess what, guys? It's my list. I can do whatever I please.